Hey everyone, so in this uh, little section here, I'm gonna kind of give a little bit of a description and show you guys what I usually do when I have to feed through a feeding tube. um, it's not graphic, so it should be suitable for anyone. It's pretty much a simple process. The process that I'm demonstrating in this one is it's a syringe pump feeding. Usually it's not really something people do, but I do it because it helps me get it done a little bit quicker and cuts down on time. And especially during chemo, you do have well, some people do have more increased fatigue than others, especially depending on what kind of chemo you're getting. In my case, I'm getting 5 different forms of chemo infusions per time, so it's pretty aggressive, so it gets pretty tough. So having that, 5, 10, 15 minutes of holding up I'm not sure what they call, I forgot, but like in my case, I have like this giant syringe, just holding it up with the feeding tube, waiting for it to drain through. Can be a little bit time consuming, especially if you have like a feeding formula that's more denser than water. If it's very viscous or whatnot, it takes longer, or if there's complications, sometimes feeding tubes get clogged and whatnot. And a lot of times there's procedures that can be done at home that can help alleviate the symptom, but also as well as sometimes you have to go to the doctor and have it removed, or have them look at it, and possibly they can do things to unclog it. But yeah, I'll be demonstrating how I do the feeding through my feeding tube, which I actually customized myself. Originally it was a J tube that's placed in my stomach and was a length of about 2.5 to 2 3/4 feet long. So it's like kind of annoying having this big tube, well, long tube, dragging around everywhere, and kind of like taking a shower, sleeping or whatnot. It's like you've got this extra thing that you've got to do, and especially dealing with chemo, it's a struggle. It's frustrating when you have to have this tube that you have to hold while you're showering and trying to like muster up the energy to wash and do what you need to do hygienically. So what I did is I cut it down to basically to where it's about 3 inches long, with a clasp on it to help keep it closed. And then when I need to use it, then I've made an attachment to where I could attach it to the tube and then be able to use it that way, and just remove it when I'm done without having this long tube sticking out of me all the time. Which also is a little bit troublesome at times, because I do get weird looks when I go into the stores and whatnot, because I've got like this somewhat of a bulge sticking out of my shirt, so it looks like something that would make someone look suspicious walking in a store or walking out of a store, like as if they have something stashed under their shirt that they're trying to steal or whatnot. So I've been accused a few times of shoplifting and getting searched, and then lifting up my shirt and being like, hey, it's a feeding tube. No, not stealing anything. But yeah, it's a little uncomfortable at times too, because myself walking through stores, going shopping and whatnot, even though I'm not doing anything wrong, the fact that I have this like significant bulge, I'll probably demonstrate here. Kind of looks like something, but when I'm walking and whatnot, it kind of flares out more and people can notice it, which makes it uncomfortable for me, because I always have the thought in the back of my head like, oh, okay, these people think I'm stealing or something, and it's like people can't take you seriously because they think you're a thief or a criminal or something, or you're devious or doing something wrong. So it is a little bit annoying at times, but it's something that's necessary to live. It's something I need. So, but other than that, it's what can you do? So The rig that I made, it's part of the tube, my feeding tube itself, and then a few other components that I ordered um, through medical supplies online, and I just kind of retrofitted, put things together, and it works really good. And it does have an extra port on it to where if I do have to, in the future, hopefully not, but if I do, administer medications through it as well, I have an extra port to where I can have accessibility to use whatever, if it's a syringe or any kind of other device that needs to administer fluids or medications, then I could do it simultaneously, or it could be controlled, regulated, with a mix of food or by itself. So I was kind of thinking ahead of what could be, trying to simplify things. So in a way, this is kind of something that maybe might help other people if, they're dealing with this issue of having this, long tube, feeding tube sticking out, and they want to have a little bit more liberty, freedom with it, because sleeping is sometimes difficult. I've had times where I've rolled over on the tube and slid around, on kind of moved or wiggled or whatever, shuffled in bed, and my tube would be underneath me and it would pull, it would tug, and it's one of the most excruciating pains, especially under chemotherapy, is digestive system, the GI tract, and all that is usually the one that's the most affected with chemo. So yeah, hopefully this is informative and maybe helps out some of you somehow, and kind of gives you an idea what other people are going through.